serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode 125 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of September 16th through the 22nd, 2019. My name is Tim Beeman.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. It doesn't sound as good as one.
That sounded a little anemic.
Eat both of them. Yeah.
There we go. Big box.
Yeah.
A lot of recipes.
There you go. We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town in the lab at Industry Hill. Is a repurposed building in North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem, with restaurants, chocolatiers, breweries, entertainment complexes, high-end stereo shops, bouldering facilities, and of course here at the lab at Industry Hill. We're doing a lot of moving and shaking in this neighborhood and this building. Find out more by visiting industryhill.com or there's a Facebook or Instagram page.
Yeah, they don't want to actually see us moving and shaking. That's not appealing to anybody.
No, I've actually been asked to stop doing that.
Yeah, me too. I was banned actually from one place.
So, I had the pleasure of trying the new Sichuan restaurant in the old Biscuitville location, and I
had noticed that.
I want to emphasize the pleasure part. First, let's talk about the location. I only ate at the Biscuitville once when I was in high school, and that's over 30 years ago. So I don't know how much fixed up it was. I'm sure they would put paint on the walls and redo some stuff. I do notice that the outside still looks like a Biscuitville, but they do have some Chinese lanterns hanging from the outside, so that's a plus.
It's an Asian fusion restaurant.
Yeah. At least on the decor anyway. It's actually authentic Sichuan food.
So this is not Americanized stuff.
No. I don't eat the decor, so I just wanted to let everybody know that was what it looked like. But I eat the food. So I went there for lunch around 2:30 last Wednesday. So there wasn't a wait. It was full, but they were just finishing up the lunch service. So as I was sitting down, most people were leaving. The menu had things that I don't see a lot of in other Chinese places. I will admit, though, I'm not a connoisseur of Chinese food, so I'm not up on a lot of the traditions in cuisine. I hear about hot pots, but I'm not really familiar with them other than you pretty much do it yourself with boiling broth that's right there and you just add stuff to it.
Right.
New Sichuan, that's the restaurant name, has something called a dry pot. Basically, it's the same without the boiling broth, and they do it for you, but you get a lot of flavor. I didn't have that, though. I wanted items off the quote-unquote authentic Sichuan menu, which is what everybody's been highly touting it as, authentic.
Okay.
So I ordered the hot and sour soup. That is not on the authentic menu, but I love hot and sour soup. It's one of my favorite Chinese restaurant staples. It was good.
It's definitely a staple right there.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't too spicy and just the right temperature. Sometimes the soup is just like scalding hot and you don't taste anything. At least I don't, and it wasn't that way. And the spiciness of it was just on point too. It wasn't overdone.
Good.
It's really the only time I eat tofu too, because there's tofu in that.
Yeah, I've never been fond of tofu, but it does fine and.
Yeah, because it takes the flavor of all that stuff in the soup. And then I also eat mushrooms when it's in there, too. So, luckily there's no asparagus in it. But
I was going to say, can we put the asparagus in there? Would you eat it then?
If I didn't know about it, I would know about it in about 20 minutes later, and then everybody would know about it. I ordered the beef tripe, but it was rung up and delivered as ox tongue and ox tripe. So it was good. The tongue was a bit chewy, but that's the way that goes. And the tripe was great. I would have liked to have actually had more tripe than tongue, but really I'd rather just have the beef tripe. But what I had was good. Now the menu lists its offerings in a peppers scale: 1 for spicy, 2 for more spicy, and 3 for hot damn. The ox was rated as 1 pepper. And it was hot. at times almost uncomfortably so. But that passed. I mean, I had to use the back of my hand to wipe the tears from my face. But but the flavor in this was really, really good. Now, the entree that I ordered was the pork with hot pepper and Szechuan flavor, as they said. Szechuan sauce was the soup, so this was just Szechuan flavored. And it was rated 2 peppers, so I was really worried that the 1 pepper was lighting me up. Now, I don't know if it was that the ox numbed my tongue or what, but the pork to me wasn't as hot as the ox. And I say that, and I go back and because I didn't finish all the ox at the first little bit. I ate the pork and then went back to the ox, and the ox didn't seem so spicy that time, so it must have just gotten used to it. But it was very, very good. The flavors in that pork were amazing, and the hot peppers in there weren't too hot. They just had a good spice to them. It was really good. I found myself actually wanting more of the pork after I was done with it. I was like looking under peppers and stuff, looking for more pork. I didn't find it though.
Didn't magically reproduce on the plate.
It did not, much to my chagrin. My take on this place is I'm not sure how authentic it is. I'm not saying that I don't think that it is. What I mean is I've never been to China. I've never been to an authentic Szechuan restaurant that I know of, so I'm not that familiar with how that goes. What I will say is that it was damn good. So it was authentic enough to me, and I do recommend the new Szechuan restaurant for dinner. And for lunch, I would say it gets a little bit busy, so prepare to wait. Someone said that they went at dinner and it was a wait out the door.
Wow.
Now they have very limited seating, and someone mentioned online that they would, they're going to quickly outgrow this place. But the point is, they had a bigger place in Durham, and they wanted a smaller place. So this turns out is exactly what they're looking for. They don't want more space. I mean, I guess they figure if people want it bad enough, they're going to wait in line for it.
And there's nothing else like that in that immediate vicinity.
No, there's nothing like that in this entire town. Pangu was close, but that was still a northern China thing. This is more like a northwestern or something like that. I have an email from one of our street team, John Phillips, and his wife, and he tried New Szechuan. This was the 13th, so Friday. He thought he'd give me his thoughts. This is not a full review. We loved Pangu and hate that it closed, but we like New Szechuan more and think that it is by far the best Chinese restaurant in Winston-Salem. Pangu is Northeast Chinese cuisine, and my wife is from Northwest China, but we both prefer Sichuan cuisine the most. So he has a little bit of to go on there. Right. Try the authentic Szechuan section, he said. All we had was really good. My wife loves that they have stir-fried intestines, and she really enjoyed that dish. I've tried it 3 different places, and it is acquired taste. I did see the intestines. Tripe is the stomach lining, the edible stomach lining of animals. He says they did seem a little overwhelmed both in the dining room and kitchen. When we left, there was a line out the door. I think with time they will start running a little smoother in terms of wait time, even with the food. Even with that wait, the food was hot and delicious, and they'll probably make it a regular in their rotation. I don't think they live too far from that, really. So, good. And we have friends that live basically right in their backyard.
Exactly.
So,
you've got Forsyth Tech across the street.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is going to be right. He says if you ever need a menu suggestion, just let him know. But if I ask them, they won't steer me wrong. I didn't have to ask. It was pretty self-explanatory. What I got was fantastic. But thank you, John, for writing in to let me know about that, how your experience was, because I didn't want just to be mine. So that was good.
Well, now he's the one that we went to have. He and his wife were the ones we went and had dinner with at Pangu.
No, that was Stephen McDowell.
Oh, I'm getting there confused.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd be curious what Stephen and his wife thought of it too.
I think Stephen has commented on the Facebook Winston-Salem Eats thing. Stephen, I know you listen to this show. Write in and let me know what you thought, and I'll share that with Ray and the listeners.
Because we know they do have an extensive background in Chinese cuisine.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's in China a good bit. So that.
But so does John and his wife. So
Yeah.
You're getting a thumbs up from people who have been to China.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Yeah, it's good. I decided to give Scrimp Shack a second chance, or a chance to redeem itself, if you will. I went in and I had the highly touted Scrimp Po' Boy. Just for the record, I hate using the word scrimp.
Well, it's got, some different kind of connotations to it.
Yeah. I just, it's like using a Z at the end of something to make it sound more pizzazzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it's just silly.
Yeah, it is kind of silly. But okay, so the Scrimp Po' Boy, I had that with their mac and cheese. Now I will say that this sandwich was on point, flavor-wise. The flavors were really good, really, really good. The company's secret sauce, which was it was sweet and tangy, mixed with something that was kind of like tartar sauce, but I don't know if it was very, very good. So I was much happier with my sandwich this time. The mac and cheese with a little bit of hot sauce that I always put on mine, it was fantastic as well. So this meal was much better. I don't know if it was because I got something completely different or they have just had time to start straightening up their act.
I'll say maybe just a time of working out the bugs.
That could have been it. No, let's not say bugs. Kinks. Let's go with kinks.
We're going to have the kinks, yeah.
Now, all that being said, I still have a gripe or two. And, of course, I'm going to mention them. So I want to go back for a second to these are only my opinions based on my experiences. As with any review that I post, I hope that you will visit the establishment, formulate your own opinions and views of the restaurant. No review is ever meant to be a means to denigrate or belittle the good work most of the restaurants are trying to do. This is an opinion of what I did or didn't like or how I saw things, not a reflection of the overall quality or vision of the company. Pardon the pun. Take this with a grain of salt.
All right, now that the disclaimer's out of the way,
Yeah.
say it.
Okay, so, and this is not bad stuff. This is just, like I said, gripes, not full-on complaints.
Okay.
One, the sandwich was delicious, as I said, but it was still hard to eat. Not because it was too much this time, but to me, I think of po' boys and hoagie rolls that are basically one piece of bread that's sliced and just held open.
Right.
This was two totally different. This is a top and a bottom, which means when you bite into it, all the stuff falls out.
Especially when you're going to do a po' boy, it's going to be overloaded. That's part of it.
Yes. So it needs to have the connection part in the middle so it actually holds stuff in. I don't eat a lot of wings. I love wings, but I don't eat a lot of them, and I don't eat a lot of ribs because I don't like shit on my fingers. Yeah. I don't like my food all over my fingers. I eat with knives and forks and spoons and buns.
We're all civilized at the table.
Yes, indeed. I don't need all that on my fingers.
Oh, how nasty.
Yeah, but I just like my hoagie rolls being tapped. I bit into the po' boy, and 3 or 4 shrimp fell out the side, all over my hands. So I had to get up and get another napkin to get the stuff off my hands, other than the stuff that was on my face from it dripping down. On my face, I'm okay with. But this was, this was on my hand, because this is what I mean. I have to take pictures with these hands. I have to check and see if I have a text coming in. I'm sitting there trying to do it with my elbow. That sucks. So
you have to go to the bathroom with those hands?
Yes. I didn't in there, but it still has to. So when I got home, first thing I did was, go in and wash my hands. Should have done it before I left because my steering wheel's still a little bit sticky. But,
Ew.
Yeah. But it's just.
Sorry,
and I talked to someone else about that, and They said, it's not a po' boy unless it's one piece of bread. But
Otherwise, it's a hoagie.
yeah,
Or
exactly.
a sub.
Yeah, sub. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, a sub. I like the sandwich. I just wish the conveyance was a little bit more easier to handle. The other thing that I didn't like was chasing the table around. So they straightened them out. Remember the last time they were unlevel?
They're all wonky.
They were whopper jawed, and this time they were all level, but the little feet on the bottom of the tables were just plastic or whatever, and they're on a laminated floor. So I put my elbow on to eat this messy thing, and I'm chasing the thing around and using my foot to pull the base back towards me, and then I lean in and my belly gets in the way and the table moves again. It's just hard to eat when you're chasing the table around the restaurant. So
At least it's not all catawampus anymore.
that's true. That's true. There was no catawampus or whopper jawed or screwed up stuff. I mean, truthfully, those are just being nitpicky. The experience was much better. They were slower this time, but you know what? Who cares? It's the food was good. The food getting there did not take any time. Getting up to get your order taken was a little bit of a wait, but once I ordered it and I went and sat down and I had enough time to check 2 emails before they were calling my name and bringing me the sandwich.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, so I was happy with it.
I mean, it's not freaky fast, but it's still pretty quick.
Yeah, it's more like deaky fast, not freaky deaky fast, just deaky fast. So
the issues that you had with the restaurant, would they be sufficient to preclude you revisiting them again?
No, I will go in there and have that shrimp po' boy often. I say often, at least once a month or so.
Yeah.
So
They're in rotation now.
yeah, and they're only a mile and a half from my house, so that's a plus.
That's pretty handy.
Um,
You could walk there.
well, I could walk there if I was so inclined, but you've seen me.
Yes, I have.
I will say Friday the 13th, I got over 10,000 steps in that day.
Wow, you were booking it.
I was. It was, and I hurt for the next 2 days. I'm still slightly hurting. So yeah, Scrimp Shack. Even though I hate that name, Scrimp Shack, you guys pulled it together this time. So thumbs up to you for that.
Keep it up.
Chelsea Tart opened Camel City Coffee. Remember we told you a little while back that was coming. It opened last week. There, it's in the old Starbucks on Oakwood. So that's there. I was looking through some articles today, and Michael Hastings is saying that Stoked is open out where Social Southern Kitchen is, where Pincho's used to be, the Village on Robin Hood or whatever. And we talked about that back in, what,
Oh, you're going to
March or April, something like that. So I didn't know that it wasn't already open. Now, it said in there that they've been open since this summer, which I know they were open when I went to do my burger tasting at Social, because Brittany, one of the servers that I know there, was telling me, you'll like it over there too. I work over there as well, and we did. So I know it was open. I don't know. It was kind of confusing as to the timing. I guess Jeff and Erica Gibbs just wanted a little more promotion for their stuff. I will say I don't know nothing about Stoked other than it's more sandwiches and laid back, where Social is more of an upscale restaurant. But I've been to Social twice, once for a burger and once with my wife before we went to the birthday party last week of Zoe Michael. And everything I've had there is really cool. It's really good stuff. So Social Southern Kitchen's cousin or sister or whatever it is, Stoked, is now open out across the street from them in Pufftown. Muddy Creek Cafe is going to occupy the former Flower Box location in Old Salem. The spot.
I saw that and thought, how in the world are you going to put Muddy Creek Cafe in a space that small?
Well, here's the thing. They're not moving the music hall. They're only moving the cafe aspect. So the big spot where the band's played, that's not going to happen. So this is only for their cafe, because where they were out in close to Old Town was sold or leased to one big firm or something. I don't know how that goes. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. But so the cafe part is going to move there. They'll continue with their sandwiches and some smaller music events. And I read in the article, but I didn't pay attention. I know they have to be out of the Old Town location by January 1st. So I would say this is probably an October, November type thing. So they can get it going and then move the other thing. Now they're still keeping the music hall and the Muddy Creek Cafe that they opened in Sparta 2 hours away. Right. And they're going to run both. I mean, to Shauna and to Bill, good luck with that. So,
yeah, that's a lot of windshield time.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing it, but it's, I don't know. We'll see. Tate's is going to introduce bar food.
I saw that.
Yeah. So it's 279 West 4th Street is where Tate's Craft Cocktails are. The menu features 8 snacks or small plates. It's mostly cold items, including Quickles, which are quick pickles, salt and vinegar bar nuts, house marinated olives, a cheese plate, and an open-faced tomato sandwich. But Tate's also has a countertop oven in which it is warming or cooking braised beef empanadas, soft pretzels, and hot crab dip. The menu items will change seasonally. Most items are $5 to $9, with crab dip topping out the menu at $13. Because they don't have a regular kitchen, the empanadas and pretzels are bought pre-made, but everything else is made in-house. The menu was designed by Harrison Littell, who is a friend of mine. He's a cool dude. The former chef of the Honey Pot, which was located right next door to Tate's, and it was owned by the Tate's family. The on-site chef is Aaron Morrell, who also worked at the Honey Pot for a while. The tomato sandwich features heirloom tomatoes from Littell's garden, along with burrata, cheese, basil aioli, and toasted brioche bun. Hot crab dip features 3 cheeses and roasted garlic. People really like the crab dip. When we fire it up, the smell spreads throughout the whole place. Morrell says Tate's food menu is currently offered from 5 to 10, Tuesday through Saturday. Now, please refer again to the disclaimer at the beginning of this thing. Again, take this all with a grain of salt. So, I understand that bar food with alcohol is a good thing. But when you have, and I mean this in the nicest of ways, ridiculously expensive cocktails, and you're going to dumb it down with a countertop oven that is warming or cooking braised beef empanadas, soft pretzels, and hot crab dip. Now, I love Harrison Littell's work, but this is a bit reaching, I think, and it's kind of a farce. The empanadas are pre-made. Does that mean from a food service, or is Harrison or Aaron making these and then bringing them in from off-site?
Be a good question to find out.
I just think it's cheapening the experience. I mean, Tate's is known for craft cocktails. It's really one of the only bars in town that is solely a craft cocktail bar. I mean, they have beer and wine and stuff, but it's in their name. Yeah, it's the craft cocktail. And I just feel, I mean, I'm all for them doing this. I just feel the way it's presented just sounds like it's cheapening the experience to me.
So we could rename them Tate's the art of the cocktail.
Well, and shitty bar food. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if I am having a craft cocktail, chances are I've already eaten somewhere else, right?
Right.
Or I'm planning to eat somewhere else. I understand all the aspects of it other than the execution of it. And really, I understand that. I just find it a bit sad. If I'm having craft cocktails, it's different than just going hanging out at a bar. You usually have a gathering there. Okay, we can get this couple of things and we can all munch on them together, the grazing thing.
But you would expect the food that's available to be at the level of the cocktails.
Exactly. And I think that's the problem I have with it. Again, especially knowing Harrison Hotels work, and if Chef Aaron Morrell was working under him, it's got to be good. Why are you doing a tomato sandwich? What good is that going to do me with a craft cocktail? The acid in the tomatoes is going to kill any of that craft cocktail part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm just, well, for one, I'm old and don't understand the way these young whippersnappers work. And two, I just feel that if you're going to do something like this, I mean, bring in something bigger. I mean, work with the Indian place next door and have real food brought over there.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, not the downtown Thai part.
And is it right the Mystic, Golden Mystic that opened up?
Yeah, Golden Mystic. Yeah, do that. Or
it doesn't seem like there was a real thought behind the pairings of the cocktails with the food.
No.
Kind of like they're just like, all right, well, we'll throw some food out here.
Yeah. And I'm not putting it down. I just think that it's actually cheapening the view that people will have of Tate's. And most people probably don't care. Most people probably won't even pay attention. Look, they have salt and vinegar beer nuts. Okay, let's get a few of those.
Right.
But that's not the point.
Salt and vinegar beer nuts is not really next level food.
No, it's not. Neither is a tomato sandwich.
I like a really good tomato sandwich. Of course, you can't offer those year round.
No, and they said they said it was going to be seasonal, so that's fine. I think it gets me with we're going to have a countertop stove that looks. In my head, this is what I'm seeing. Like when you go to the gas stations and they have like the little microwave over onto the side that you can get your frozen burrito, throw it in there.
Little rollers with the hot dogs.
Yes. I mean, that's not craft cocktail. That's not upscale. That's not high class. This is, again,
that's what Tate's known for.
I know. And I don't. I wish them 1,000 times of luck for that. I just don't. I don't get it. But that's okay. I don't have to get it. It's not mine. It's not my concept. It's not my place. I hope they do well with it.
Well, me too.
Speaking of hoping they do well with it, Carolina Quench Italian Ice is now open in the former Uncle Buzzy's location. I was driving by. This is before Michael Hastings posted it in the paper. I was driving by and saw this was there. They're selling nothing besides Italian ice. And it is open from a license from the original Carolina Quench folks in Myrtle Beach. They have 10 flavors. I don't remember the flavors. There's like a peach mango. There's a strawberry lime. That's great. They have 10 flavors, and Mason McDowell, who was a co-owner and former District Rooftop Bar and Grill, what is now Famous Toastery and Bar Pina, partly owned by Bo Tate from Tate's Cocktails, craft cocktails, will be hopefully able to make this himself and then sell it wholesale in large batches.
Okay.
But for the moment, it's only sold in cups, in like the smaller size is 5, and they get a double scoop for 6.
Okay.
So everybody talks about the Carolina Quench Italian Ice from Myrtle Beach, and there's several of them located down there. So let's hope that that goes well. I know that location's going to be a beast, so I wish him all the luck that I can being there.
That is going to be a really tough location to make that successful. And you're opening up going into fall.
Yeah, it's year round. It's all year round.
Yeah, good luck with that over the next 6 months.
Yeah, we'll see.
No offense intended, but
no.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, hopefully he does. But I mean, I still think that a lot of the problem there with Uncle Buzzy's wasn't necessarily location as much as it was the upfront marketing, and even Dave Hillman said that. But the location still had something to do with it. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he is able to overcome that, because I like seeing places be open. Whether it's someplace I'll go to or not, I like seeing it open. I'm not saying I wouldn't go there. I just don't know that I would. We'll see. If I get an opportunity to stop by there because I'm on that side of town, I'll let everybody know, and there'll be pictures, of course.
Cool.
At Carrabba's, our official sponsor, the first of 2 wine dinners of this month is tomorrow, September the 17th. The menu features grilled asparagus with prosciutto, which I'll skip, of course. I'll have the prosciutto.
The rest of us will go, that sounds good.
I'll have the prosciutto. And it's paired with the Bogle Merlot. Lasagna paired with the Federalist Bourbon Barrel Aged Red Blend. I love anything that says bourbon barrel aged.
Yes.
Mr. C's, I'm sure that stands for Carrabba's, chicken involtini paired with Exitus, that's Exitus, red wine. The Sogno di Cioccolata, which is a chocolate dream, paired with Coppola Diamond Selection Cabernet Sauvignon. The cost of this is $40 per person, not including tax and gratuity. To make a reservation, go to carrabbas.com or online. I'm sure you could probably do it. Well, that is carrabbas.com, but on Facebook, there's probably a link to get to that as well. We have been to a wine. Well, I have. Have you been to the wine dinner there? I know you've been to a tasting.
I've been to a tasting there. We haven't done the wine dinner, but the tasting, he treated it like a wine dinner and had various pairings going on throughout the meal.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about that, weren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, he takes it to that next level. It's not just, let me put together a good meal, but this is really going to go well with that.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is all Carrabba's doing this. Yeah. So they're all doing the same menu with the same wines, so people can talk about it. You know, they can talk about it. I went to the one in Greensboro. I went to one in Houston. I went to the one here. You know, that Mr. C's chicken involtini was just fantastic, and with that Exodus red wine. Yeah, so I like that they do that, and it invokes community even when you're not in the community. And you get to talk to Daniel, and that is always a major plus.
That's a plus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once again, the hot dog tasting trolley tour is coming October the 5th.
Man 5.
Man 5. You will start around 10, I think 10:30, and it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It takes you all these really cool places like Doss's in Kernersville, Kermit's, PB's, Pulliam's here in Winston.
Classic restaurants.
Yeah, so your favorite hot dog awaits you. Tickets are $35 per person. Groups of 3 or more get $30 per, but you can get an additional $5 off each ticket by entering your own special promo code, or our own special promo code, upon checkout, which is MAN5.
Man 5.
MAN5. And also on October the 5th, I'll be a judge for the Chili Stew Cook-Off at BB&T Ballpark. The Big Sip, not to be confused with the other one that uses the Big Something. That's a major ripoff of this one. Put on by Piedmont Local Magazine and 336 Events. Michael Hastings, Brian Cole, Kristen Dokas, and I will be judging local chili stew offerings. Tickets are $60 for the full Monty. That's starting at 1 p.m. and getting the food and beverage options. $30 tickets get you in at 3, and there are beverage tastings. I haven't gotten the go for the giveaways yet. I'll probably do that next week, and the next week will be the 25th, so it'll be the week before. So, or not 25th, the 23rd. So
if you're the 18th caller now, you'll receive your free tickets.
So the 23rd, and the next one will be the 30th. So I think we have 2 weeks before this is happening, so we'll be able to do it. So if you win these tickets, I don't know how we're going to give them away yet, but when we do, it'll be the $30 ticket, but you can upgrade on your own for $15. So that's $15 off the big ticket price.
That's a good deal right there.
Yeah, that's a lot of beer and a lot of food. And it's not just beer; it's wine and sodas and all kinds of stuff too. So
many of the people that we mention on this podcast on a regular basis will be there.
This is true. So you should go see them. The Summer of Burgers, like I said, is over, and I am looking through my list to come through up with my list. Still haven't determined how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it, and you'll all be happy with it, I'm sure. If not, then you can kiss my. No, I'm kidding. I'll come up with something good.
We really want to know.
I know, and I really want to tell you.
We've seen some amazing pictures of some really good food, and curious to see what rises to the top.
Oh, yes.
Because, I mean, you can't have 35 of them all at the top.
That's true. This is true.
Even though they may have all earned some sort of way to be at the top.
Well, most of them. There were a couple that...
Yes, a couple that we have shared off air.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've already lobbied for my favorites.
Yes, you have.
And my favorites got a sample. They made the tour. Now it's up to God or Tim.
Or Tim. Some people call it the same thing. So, but anyway, those people would be wrong, but some people do. Oh, those who call me Tim.
And then there are those who call me Your Majesty.
Or as you would say, you can call me Ray, you can call me Jay. Yeah.
You got to call me Johnson.
All right, so let's do some food holidays.
Let's.
Today is the 16th of September. It is National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day.
Ooh, with some nice butter and a little bit of honey. Toast that up. Yeah, baby.
One of the intros for the Less Desirables says this, talking about the Less Desirables, says, better than tuna fish on cinnamon toast raisin bread. Or cinnamon swirl raisin bread.
Wow.
Nah, it can't be better than that. Nothing's better than that, right?
I mean, that's a thing.
No. It
I was going
not
to say,
be.
I've never heard of it. Of course, I haven't heard of everything, but I would have thought I would have heard of something like tuna fish and cinnamon swirl raisin bread.
Yeah, especially here in the South, because, you know, they'll eat anything.
Yeah.
It's also, which I can totally get behind this, it's National Guacamole Day. I love guacamole. I make a mean guacamole.
How do you make your guacamole? You mash it? Is it cubed? Is it?
I mash it. It's I have a potato masher, and I go through that, lime juice, onions, garlic, and just a little bit of sugar. The sugar is what balances out the acidic from the lime juice.
Yep. I find it interesting that the authentic guacamole that I've had the privilege of having at some Latino folks' homes and birthday celebrations and things like that, it's always the chunky, you know, cubed up.
And with tomatoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I just don't do it with mine.
That's not your recipe.
That's right. That's a whole lot of extra work. It's also, today is also National Play-Doh Day.
Oh,
And
yes,
did you
the
know
toy you can eat.
Yeah, did you know that well, you shouldn't. It's non-toxic, but that doesn't mean you should still eat it. It was made to be a cleaner for wallpaper.
What?
Yes. It was
Okay.
originally designed to be a wallpaper cleaner. I guess you just rub it on there and then wipe it off.
Okay. I would have never anticipated or imagined that.
My little OCD ass would never put the 2 or 3 colors together. I always had to play with one color at a time because if they mixed, I was ticked off.
Yeah, can't have a mix in there.
No, you cannot. You have to have one color. The white was never white again once you mixed it with the purple or the red or.
Oh no, it's always going to have a flavor after that.
Yeah, no, it's
So
never.
you never did the rainbow swirl version.
No, and I had the barbershop. That was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Squeeze it out of their head and cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze it out of their head again and cut it off. Then just squeeze their head.
Yeah. Squeeze their head. Squish your head. Squish your head.
Squeeze your head. Your head off.
In 1835, Charles Darwin arrived at the Galapagos Islands aboard the HMS Beagle. The unique fauna he observed on the various islands there helped informing his theory of natural selection, which we have totally gotten in the way of.
Mm-hmm.
We should let the stupid people do themselves in, but no, we have to help them all.
Yes, the Darwin Awards are always a favorite for me.
Yeah, kind of gotten away from those.
If they stopped doing them, or are they still doing?
I don't know. It's
I haven't looked at that in a long time.
Darwin Awards. Let's see. Oh, there are. Still DarwinAwards.com. May of 2019 in Louisiana, Black Bayou Drawbridge, situated 6 miles south of Lake Charles, was closed to car traffic and open for a boat to pass through. That drawn drawbridge presented an irresistible challenge to 2 Texas men, aged 23 and 32. Their ages are interchangeable. Looking for fun on Friday night? May their experiment be a warning to you, my friend. A witness observed the passenger emerge, push up the arm of the safety gate, and climb back into the car. Then the Chevy Cruze backed up a short distance and accelerated hard up the drawbridge ramp, up and over the edge. Splash. You cannot last long when the road beats you in an IQ test.
No. Here, hold my bear. Let me show you. I'm going to do Dukes Hazzard move right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go up over that and I'm going to jump the other side.
The Shoot the Gap tragedy happened at 2 a.m. The car sank from sight, and it was no easy task to locate the wreck. Louisiana State Police divers eventually located and lifted the vehicle with pontoons and recovered 2 drowned bodies from the Black Bayou. They were identified in a CNN News article. Double Darwin, a twofer. Take heed and practice patience on the drawbridges of life.
Yeah.
Alternate title would be Flukes of Hazard.
The comments, physics always wins.
Yes. Physics always, gravity. Not only is it cool, it's the law.
Yeah. It's the law.
In 1893, at noon, the Cherokee Strip Land Run began. It was Oklahoma's 4th and largest land run, with 100,000 participants competing for only 40,000 homesteads on 6 million acres of land.
Wow.
It's hard to believe that was only 100 and what?
30?
127 years ago.
Yeah.
126 years ago.
That we had that much open land. It's like, go.
Yeah.
Go grab you a piece.
And
run.
And they just let them run over the Cherokee people's land. Just go. Grab what you can.
Well, and the Cherokee people's land is where they were pushed out of North Carolina and East Tennessee and shoved into Oklahoma. They didn't belong there.
No.
we had that whole Trail of Tears where thousands upon thousands of men, women, and children were forced to migrate out of their home, and they died in the process.
Yep. Because it didn't matter if they found a place to go; they just need to get out where they were here.
Well, they weren't given a choice. It was at gunpoint.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they didn't care what happened to them once they left.
No,
there was no caretaking in that whatsoever. You know,
never has been. The U.S. government's relation with the Native American population has always been atrocious.
The U.S. government's relationship with many people is atrocious.
The relationship with you and me is sometimes atrocious.
This is true. And on the 16th in 1947, the first aluminum foil Reynolds Metals Reynolds wrap goes on sale. It's still probably the widest sold today.
Interesting. I would have thought it was even further back than that.
No, not so much. And it is the same Reynolds family, I believe, that R.J. Reynolds was part of.
Ah.
On the 17th of September, it's National Apple Dumpling Day.
And little cinnamon, little dough, yeah.
And National Monte Cristo Day. Do you like?
I should know what a Monte Cristo is.
Okay, so it's basically a ham and Swiss, a Black Forest ham and Swiss, and other things, and then it's battered and deep fried.
Ooh.
It's kind of like, they can also be made like French toast, but with stuff in it.
Okay.
So without the powdered sugar so much.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a deep fried or just a fried sandwich.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. I've liked all the ones that I've ever had. On the 18th, it's National Cheeseburger Day.
Cheeseburger, yeah.
On 1838, the Anti-Corn Law League was founded in Great Britain by Richard Cobden. The Corn Laws levied tariffs on imported food, which raised food prices, of course. That's what tariffs do, dumbasses.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. In 1990, on the 18th, a 500-pound, 6-foot-high Hershey chocolate kiss was put on display in Times Square in New York City. Your dream come true, sir.
Ooh, it'd take me at least 10 minutes to eat all that.
And at least 3 weeks to shit it all out. Okay, so
even longer to come down from all the
on the 19th, it's, I like this, National Butterscotch Pudding Day.
I like a good butterscotch pudding.
I am a fan of butterscotch everything, really.
And it's not a flavor that you see many people using.
Not anymore. It used to be more popular than it is now.
Yeah.
So
But it should come back. Maybe we should be responsible for bringing butterscotch back.
let's push for it.
You know,
It's
maybe
the
the
fall of
butterscotch lobby
butterscotch.
will throw some money our way.
Yeah. Oh, I have an idea for the fall. You know,
Do you?
how about the fall of pancakes?
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, because not everywhere has pancakes. The burgers are a little hard because everywhere has a burger.
Right.
So let's find places that have pancakes and then just try those.
And there is a distinct difference in the quality of pancakes.
Oh yeah. You know, as much as I hate their food and them in general, IHOP actually has good pancakes. I mean,
They
that's
do.
what their name is. And you do it with that butter pecan syrup. But
Yes.
everything else there is subpar, and they just suck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll discuss some of that. Maybe we'll do some pancakes.
I like the idea of fall of pancakes.
Yeah, because it is. I think of it as an autumn type food.
Well, to me, pancakes are, an any kind food. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a breakfast food, but it works for lunch or dinner.
Yeah, but
And you can go savory, you can go sweet.
yeah, I remember another thing that the aforementioned suckery of IHOP had the pigs in the blanket, which were link sausages wrapped up by pancakes. I think Midtown Cafe used to have those too. I don't know if they still do. Anyway,
So that gives you pancakes and crepes.
this is
Because
true.
they kind of fall into that same category.
That's true-ish, though. I mean, I'm afraid that if I went with both, then of course Pennypath would be the number one, regardless, because
They're
just
just
don't do
awesome.
anything wrong. So, so I think that might be unfair. I think I should concentrate only on the pancakes. Although, that's up to discussion. It's not just I'm doing it. That's not how this works. So we'll figure out something. On the 19th in 1783, the Montgolfier brothers successfully sent up some live animals in a hot air balloon, including a sheep and a rooster.
Because they could report back on their experience in the clouds.
Yes. The word is still out on how that went. I have a feeling that what goes up must come down, and hopefully the rooster crapped on them on the way down.
I mean, I could give you a one-word summation of how that all wrapped up.
Is it an onomatopoeia?
Oh, it's splat.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right. In 1876, Melville Bissell patented the carpet sweeper, which is where we get Bissell from.
I thought I recognized that name. And I'm glad it wasn't the Herman.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Bissell kind of makes more sense, sounds a little better, but yes, I use a Herman. It didn't have the same panache.
No, it doesn't. In damn it, I do that again because there's a 9 here. So on September the 20th,
That's kicking in.
National Rum, yeah, my lack of good sleep. National Rum Punch Day.
Ooh, okay, I'm good. Anything with rum.
Yes, especially with punch because you get to add it with all these other things.
And then you don't even recognize how much you just got. And the next thing you know, you're face planted in the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
And I really should stop talking right now.
And the dog, you wake up being peed on by the dog.
No, it was licking my face. It was not peeing on me. That was another time.
Okay. On the 20th, it's also International Grenache Day, and Grenache is a specific type of grape. It's one of the most prominent grapes in the world. Make a lot of wine with that. It's National Pepperoni Pizza Day, which is the finest of pizzas, I have to say. I like a good crap pizza where it's just crap all
Everything.
over it. But I like, because I will eat pepperoni straight out of the bag.
Oh, yeah.
That's usually 2 spoons of peanut butter and it's about 10 slices of pepperoni. That's my snack. And it's also National Fried Rice Day.
Ooh, I like fried rice.
Yeah. On the 21st, it's National Pecan Cookie Day.
I prefer it in pie, but, or just eating pecan. But, I'm good with pecan.
Yeah. In 1784, on the 21st, the nation's first daily newspaper, the Pennsylvania Packet and Daily Advisor, began publication. In 1897, Deere and Company registered John Deere as a trademark.
And people have been collecting them since.
Yes. My son had one. It was, the kid
Yeah.
the motorized vehicles that only the kids can ride in. He had
Yeah.
a John Deere Gator.
Cool.
Yeah. On the 21st in 1937, something that I've got to take care of for you. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit was published for the first time. Yeah. Hobbits were known as both gourmets and gourmands. Gourmets, of course, being the people who cook or make gourmet food, and gourmand is people who eat it, usually to excess.
The Hobbit actually started as Tolkien coming up with bedtime stories for his children. And then he put that together and created The Hobbit, and
then eventually the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, actually, The Lord of the Rings, though, grew out of his love of language
Yeah.
is, yeah, I'll shut up right there. I'll go on for the next 3 hours about the Lord of the Rings.
Well, the 21st, the reason it's, hold on, let me see. Nope, that's the next day. Let's get to that in a minute. On the 21st of 1970, Monday Night Football premiered. More snack food, please. The Cleveland Browns beat the New York Jets. And if you will pay attention to who the Monday Night Football game tonight is,
It's
the Browns and the Jets.
So it's a repeat of the very first.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. And it will probably suck because it's the Browns and the Jets.
I was going to say that. So thank you for sparing me.
You're welcome. Both of our teams, who are also 0-2, they're division rivals of ours. In 1971, and on the 21st, Coca-Cola introduced the plastic bottle.
Wow. Okay.
And in 2000,
Our oceans have been littered since.
unfortunately. In 2015, on the 21st, Stuart Parnell, the owner and CEO of Peanut Corporation of America, the PCA, was sentenced to 28 years in prison. He was convicted of 72 counts of fraud and conspiracy for knowingly shipping peanut butter paste contaminated with salmonella bacteria. In 2008, peanut butter paste manufactured by PCA killed 9 people and sickened 714 others in 46 states. It resulted in one of the largest food recalls in American history. He was the first corporate executive convicted of federal felony charges related to food poisoning. And that was 2015, and he is still sitting there rotting away, I hope.
Yes. That's no small peanuts.
No, that's a lot of nuts. Damn it, on the 22nd of September, it's not your favorite day because you don't believe it actually exists in this way. It's National White Chocolate Day.
Oh yeah, that's not chocolate. That's another confection.
My preference over the two, actually. It's National Ice Cream Cone Day.
What the? A cone has absolutely no value without ice cream in it.
Well, I'm sure they're expecting you to put ice cream in it. Now, here's the question: do you like the flat-bottomed classic, or do you like the sugar cones that are cone shape, actual cone shape?
If I have to order, I get the sugar cone or the waffle cone. I really like that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I
Nutty
used to work
Buddies
in a
come in.
factory that made the ice cream cones, the flat bottom ones. Back when I was in college, I did some temp work for a company that's what they made.
It's just wafers, right? It's just wafer material that's
basically
that's shaped.
And I remember the very first day I was there, for the first couple of hours, it was all Keebler stuff that was coming off of the line. And, it was fascinating watching them being made and then come down the conveyor belt, getting put in a plastic bag and then put into a box, and it's sealing itself up. And then they just stopped the line and they went and they took all the Keebler boxes out and they put all Food Lion boxes in and they hit start again.
Yep. Yeah, that's called, what is it called?
Rebranding?
No, it's not rebranding. It's,
well, it's the generic equivalent.
Yeah, it's proprietary. What the hell is it? I don't know. Anyway,
It's that term.
It happens all the time. It's like Conagra Foods make Peter Pan peanut butter, which is my favorite, but it also makes the Good Value stuff or whatever it is for Walmart.
Yeah.
Although they taste different.
The store brand.
Yeah.
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 I mean, in this case, I would have challenged you on they taste different, because it was literally the only difference was the box they got put in.
No, I believe that, but I do taste the difference in Great Value and Peter Pan.
Yes,
So
I do too. I like Peter Pan myself better than
Yeah.
Great Value, but Great Value is not bad.
on the 22nd, also, it is Hobbit Day, and you're supposed to celebrate with 7 meals today, because on the 22nd, because that is both Bilbo and Frodo Baggins' birthday. I need to throw
then,
in a little bit
that
of
would be why you have to have 7 meals. First breakfast, second breakfast.
11sies.
Yeah, lunch.
Lunch. I need to
Second
play.
lunch.
I need to play a little bit of Leonard Nimoy's Bilbo Baggins song. Are you familiar with it? Bilbo Baggins. Yeah. In 1955, on the 22nd, the first British commercial TV station began broadcasting. The first advertisement was for Gibbs SR toothpaste.
Yum.
Never heard of it. And it's in the United Kingdom, so they have awful teeth. So Gibbs must not have been that great. In 1967, the Queen Mary began her last Atlantic crossing. And on the 22nd in 1985, the first Farm Aid concert was held at Champaign, Illinois.
I remember that.
I do too.
Little Farm Aid, Live Aid kind of
It was
era.
Mellencamp and Willie Nelson and all them getting together for that. It was to help the farmers, and if not long after that was about the time that Scarecrow came out from John Mellencamp. Well, that's all your food history and holidays for this week. Thanks to James Ehler at Food Reference for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, and just bring back the Darwin Awards. Lamenting. The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables Podcast Network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to Less Desirables, Beer Dads, Fan Interference, Department 5B, and Beeswax Vinyl, and more. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. You can find the social media links to each one there as well. We'd greatly appreciate if you visited our sponsors. How about Carrabba's Italian Grill, located at 857 South Stratford Road? Let Daniel demonstrate what a responsible chain looks like. Don't forget tomorrow's dinner that I mentioned earlier. Next Wednesday, the 25th, Carrabba's will be doing a Folds of Honor wine dinner. It will be $40, and $2 of every one of those will go to the Folds of Honor, which raises money in scholarship funds for Children of Service members. We will talk more about that menu next week, but don't wait for that. Go ahead and get your reservations now. Follow Carrabba's on social media and carrabbas.com.
You know, Daniel is just one of those out of this world kind of guys.
Yeah.
And I'm picking on his constant use of the telescope and posting of the pictures of the moon, Saturn, and Jupiter.
He's out of this world.
He's out of this world. He's a stellar guy.
He's astronomically awesome.
Yes, he is, actually. Even though we're picking.
I might have news about him in the next week. We'll just have to wait and see what that is.
Tease us again.
Yes. How about that? Tune in next week for more information about how Daniel Butner is one awesome dude.
Stay tuned for our weekly series on Daniel Butner.
Daniel Butner's Excellent Adventure, Part 23. Washington Perk and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street. You can find a little bit of everything there at the Perk. Local fruits and veggies, meat and dairy from local sources, bingo bango sodas made right here in this building, Wolfie's custard, and much more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk. And on Instagram, they are Washington Perk _DTWS. What does that stand for?
That'd be downtown Winston-Salem, I do believe.
I do believe so, too. And the Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. We saw her make a post this week. I'm going to see if I can pull that up while we're...
It was a bold post.
It was a bold... It
promised
was a
another
long...
tease.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what's going on? We're going to be doing something new. Okay, what is it? But she wouldn't give us all the details.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can pull it up so I can...
But it did sound like it was going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I will say she also posted about a cake that she'd made this week. Oh, my.
With the petals?
Yeah. Wow. That was stunning. Just stunning.
Yeah.
And then she gave a little of the details. That each one of those was an individual wafer that she placed in it's like
that she had to shape and then on top of shaping them, had to place each individual one.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous work of art, edible art.
Which all of her stuff is.
I mean, isn't that the best way to get art? You can, they say that really you should consume art. All right, well, go to Brittany's and you will consume art.
Yes, 4 hours of individual application of each little piece of wafer paper and punching out 1,000,000 rounds, but worth it, she said. All right, let's see. This is awfully long, but I'm going to read it all.
Let's talk about Brittany.
Dessert, in most places, is considered an afterthought. Most establishments don't have the means to make a person dedicated to pastry, and it's totally understandable in most situations because it can be quite costly. To have a beautiful, thoughtful dessert or bread program, a pastry chef should earn no less than $50,000 a year. Why shell out that much money when people, quote unquote, don't really care about dessert? When you can easily get frozen cakes that keep well, that are made in a factory hundreds of miles away and then flash frozen at a fairly reasonable price to have that profit margin, I get it. It is convenient and saves money. And I'm not even going to hate on some of those cakes because I can't say that I haven't thoroughly enjoyed some of them myself, sincerely. Most of them are super tasty. But what should dessert mean? My father taught me on my very first day on the floor as a server that when someone comes to your restaurant, they want an experience from start to finish. That means the moment you greet the table up to you drop the check. In most experiences, the last thing you do in those moments will really be a determining factor in how you remember the time spent there. Dessert is a way to complete the experience. It is more than an indulgent, which is perfectly acceptable, and deserves to be experienced mindfully like the courses that came prior. When someone gets dessert, that means they want to stay in touch with you that much longer. It could be a few minutes, it could be an hour, whatever time your guest chooses to stay longer or savor that moment should be honored. And what better way could you do that by presenting them a thoughtfully curated dessert menu to round out their experience the right way? So what I'm getting at is that in early 2020, I will be launching my own dessert curation and menu design consulting program to essentially be an off-site pastry chef. For the remainder of 2019, I will be working with one of Winston-Salem's most beloved chefs to bring you confections curated with intention. More details on that soon. If you are a restaurant owner who is interested in adding to the overall experience that people have at your establishment, please send an email to her in the new year. I would love to find a way to work and grow together. Dessert deserves the same amount of love and time that you put into your menu design and prep, and I'm here to help you make that happen. Let's leave people with the best experience possible so they can keep coming back for more. So, I know that she was recently in Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that her time there gave her plenty of time to think through and plan and plot. And I think this is a great thing. What does it mean for the Humblebee shop? I don't know. What this means is I need to have her come on so we can talk about that. That would be a good thing.
It would be. And, some of the folks that were commenting on that post mentioned that when she was the pastry chef at one of their favorite restaurants, they always ordered dessert because they recognized that that was part of the experience.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just so it's looking awesome. For right now, though, we know that she's at Humblebee Shop, 1003 Brookstown Avenue. They want to challenge your perception of Scratch Made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram because you're going to see some awesome pictures. Or visit thehumblebeshop.co.
SHOPPE.co.
Keep an eye on this blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have food news, please get in touch with us.
Please.
Don't make me aggregate it from other food writers. I would like to bring you my own opinions, but I need to research and know what's going on. So please, I'm begging you, imploring, please get in touch with us. You can do that via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com. Find me on the street. I don't care. Just let me know some stuff's going on. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are manwho8thetown. On Instagram, we are manwho8thetown. My name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
And we're closing the recipe box. I think we dropped the recipe block. I don't know. I think I cracked the lid. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit! The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.